Howdy folks, StrayCat74 here, and welcome once again to the Basement of Solitude. We did some playing with fire starters a while back. I'll put a link in the description over here if I remember how to do that. I'm still new to this, folks. So, we already did the self-igniting fire starters. This time we're going to do the cotton ball ones, and I found a way that works a little better than smearing the petroleum jelly in there by hand. That's also kind of messy. What we have here is one's a candle warmer and the other's a coffee cup warmer upper, and we've got two huge tuna cans. This one's got petroleum jelly and this one has petroleum wax. The wax we are using, I should have been more prepared, is behind us here. We are using Gulf wax, which is in the Jello aisle at Walmart. You can find it at other places, I'm sure. I don't know if they have a website. I don't know if it matters. Gulf wax. It comes in quarter-pound paraffin bars. I've already used 3 of them, so I've got 1 left. Not that I'm in any kind of worry. They usually have stacks of these. At Walmart, retail, $4. For petroleum jelly, I'm using the Walmart brand. Again, this is $4. So it's not like we're being really big spenders here. I've got several $1,000s worth of reloading and equipment and tools. I'm using the cheap stuff. And cotton balls. Again, the Walmart brand. Well, I don't know if this is Walmart brand, but it's $4. There's 200 of them in here. You get a lot of them. They'll last. And one of these cotton balls, if you break it into quarters, you can make 4 fires out of it. So you're talking a couple of pennies per cotton ball. You get 4 really good fires out of it. Or use this as, burn the whole damn thing. And the best way to do it is once we get done with this, you pull it apart so little fiber spits are sticking out, and then hit it with a spark lighter. I don't have any place we can burn this just yet, or else I'd show you some that I made earlier. We'll wait until the weather's a little bit nicer out. But here's the method that I found that works. I did about a dozen of these before, and they seem to work out pretty good. Nothing but the best. This is like $1 for 100 of these. So, again, I'm a really big spender. Dunk. And set. Now, part of this is giving each of these a chance to cool down before we move to the next step. So I'm going to do about 20 of them. That seemed to work fairly good last time. Yeah, might not do that many. I haven't decided yet. I don't have a set of chopsticks with me, or else I could do this with the chopsticks. I used to entertain myself when I was working at IBM as tech support, eating popcorn with chopsticks. And no, I'm not kidding. Yeah, I think we're just going to do these. This many. 12. Okay. While we wait for a moment, any of you who follow me know that I brewed some Sunday morning going down slow coffee stout. This is some of that. It's been in the mason jar for a little bit, so it's at the head, which was all the way up to the top. It's had a chance to go down. Basically, take 4 double shots of espresso and pour it into a Guinness. That's what this basically is. Good stuff. Okay. Now, that's a little too hot to pick up, but the level has gone down significantly because it's all in those. So you're going to have to replenish the petroleum jelly slightly more frequently. Put the lid back on there. I used safety can openers just so I can put the tops back on. Okay, well, I'm trying not to sneeze right now. I was outside playing in the barn. Mold, mildew, dust. I hate allergies. Okay, so now we're going to do the paraffin wax. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to go through and we're going to dunk each one. Then let them cool. By the time we get done with the last one over here, the first one up there should be ready to dunk again. We want to get 2 coats on there. That'll make them waterproof, just in case you get rained on, snowed on, peed on, spill your beer. I also made sure that I turned the volume up on this one, so you should be able to hear me now. If not, I'm going to have to buy a microphone, and since Radio Shack is out of business, at least the local Radio Shack is out of business, I'm going to have to find a microphone. Feel free to send me money to help buy equipment. Anybody that wants to, just ask. I'll give you my PayPal address. PayPal me as much money as you want. A couple $1 million would be nice. You don't have to, but it'd be really appreciated. Then I won't have to work anymore. Okay. Dunk. You can see the wax building up. This is nice and thin, so when you drop it back in there, in a minute or two, it'll be melted again. You don't have to worry about it. Incidentally, getting me to go to a Chinese place to get chopsticks, not difficult. Remembering to get the chopsticks after the buffet, a little more difficult. Based on how warm these are, I think we need to let these sit for a couple of minutes before we do the second dunking. You can see the drip of wax solidified on the bottom there. Okay. Now, I don't have any video editing software yet. So, in order to give these a minute, I have to waste a minute's worth of time doing something. Entertaining you guys, or, whatever. I should have planned this out a little better. So, we'll break out the ammo can of fire stuff. Yes, I went and bought a brand new ammo can to put fire starting stuff in. See, these are some of the ones that didn't work so well. Here are the Strike Anywhere matches in a waterproof container and childproof container as well. You may remember when we were doing those. If I can find it, I'll put a link in the description. Here are some of the cotton balls I made the other day. As you can see, they're well flattened. They're still mushy, so you break it in half, pull it apart, and hit it with a spark lighter. Some of these I burned outside to test, but it was too windy to get audio to function through my laptop because I get several complaints about how quiet the microphone in my laptop is. I have to talk up much louder than I usually do when I'm holding a conversation on the phone in my commercial motor vehicle doing 65 down the highway. So, yeah, I'm a very quiet person. Now, some of the things for making spark. This actually doesn't work very well, believe it or not. Works great if you've got a torch and you're pouring flammable gas, but take one of these cotton balls, break it apart, and do that. Not so much. I was rather disappointed. I wasted $2 on that. Let's see. Here's my favorite ferroconium rod, or ferro rod, or flint and steel, or I don't know how the hell you're supposed to pronounce that, but it throws good sparks. Just have to make sure I didn't set fire over there. Pardon. I've been drinking beer. That's my excuse. Let's see. Here's another ferro rod and a piece of what looks like hacksaw blade. These are fairly cheap. I believe this one was 50 cents and $2 shipping and handling. I have several of those as well. Here's a couple of different things. You have your magnesium block, classic by the way, with your piece of ferro here. I've got a thermometer with built-in compass and a 79-cent. Damn it. It worked the other day. It's going to make a liar out of me. Serrated blade. The serration fits nice around there and makes spark. I have one of these in my personal go bag. This is in with my fire starting stuff because I can't find the other thing. Well, actually, I know exactly where it is. It's under the bed, and it's a big bed, and I'm lazy. So it was cheaper and easier to buy another one. So just an idea of how you can combine stuff together. Oh, here's a new product that Zippo has, or at least it's new to me. I'd never heard of it before. It looks like a traditional Zippo, only it has these tinders in here, and there's some kind of fuel-soaked tinder. It uses the same flint as a standard Zippo lighter does. Like I said, I've been drinking. Give me a break. And it actually can turn 180 degrees so you can spark out the side. I haven't used this yet. I've seen several videos on YouTube of these working, and they work peachy. You take the tinder out, fluff it up, hit it with the spark. Almost ready. Speaking of Zippos, I've had this for nearly 20 years. This is the pipe lighter Zippo, because I used to smoke a pipe. This is the holster my ex-wife bought me. The edges used to cut up my leather belts. I don't wear leather belts anymore. So I added this to my fire starting thing. Now, Zippos occasionally run out of fuel. So I bought more fuel. I find my Zippo will go, depending on how much I use it, anywhere between a week to a month without needing to be refueled. This is about a year's worth of fuel for lighting pipes if you smoke every day. I used to. I don't anymore. Let's see. Other fire starting apparatus. This is magnesium ribbon. This will light with a Bic lighter. I actually have a Bic lighter right here. It was supposed to be in there. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet. So, again, more of my good planning. This is a wicked, interesting device that I haven't been able to get to use or get to work right. This is a fire piston. You put a piece of char cloth in the hole there. You spit and lube that ring up, and then you smack it with your hand, and then you're supposed to whip it out, and that's supposed to still glow. Problem is this is an aluminum rod. What does aluminum do? It conducts heat. So that little bitty spark, all the heat gets dragged out of it. I beat my hand until it was bloody trying to get this thing to go. I wasted $18 on this. So do y'all self a favor. If you get one that's at least twice this tall. That way you have, and without the metal rod. If you can get the ones with the acrylic rod, I think those would work better. I just haven't gotten around to it because I hate these things. Cotton ball char cloth. Again, this is just in here by way of example. And as you can see, that's barely as wide as the palm of my hand. If you get one, get a big one. The King of Random has a video where he makes one that's like a foot tall. Oh my god, that thing's awesome. I want one. I just haven't gotten around to building one. Let's see. Speaking of lighters for refilling, and again, this is another thing that I did not have readily available. In my firebox, my torch. I use this to light my candle. That's over there. So, refillable, butane, and this will light you some fires. But it doesn't fit in the ammo can. Let's see, what else do we have in here? Another interesting product. The U.S. military is no longer using trioxane fuel bars. Something about them being toxic. It's hazardous material, so they're using these little bitty packets of fire gel if they use those at all. For the most part, since they're mainly eating MREs, they're doing the flameless heaters where you add water, salt water, chemical reaction, makes warm. You can look that up online. I don't have any handy, except that are in my MREs, which are hiding. See the red box? Down there someplace. I don't want to break them out right now. But this is basically isopropyl alcohol in a gel. This is the Sterno brand stuff, and it's green. You could also carry a bottle of isopropyl alcohol if you have a container to store it or to pour it into so that it doesn't leak all over everything, and escape before you can set it on fire. I need more beer. Because my enunciation and dictation is so much better when I'm drunk. Well, not drunk, but drinking. Other things, always have a spare knife handy. Fire starter fire logs. I figure I can take my knife, cut off a piece of this for fire starter. Speaking of fire starter, this is something I found at the tractor store. This is basically pressed cardboard and wax. You break off a square. I figure hit it with a knife, get some shavings. You might be able to hit it with a spark lighter, ferro rod, or hell, your lighter. Always have a lighter. Always have a way to make fire. Always have 2 or 3 ways. Redundancy, 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 because when you think you can rely on this, you'll lose your flint, you'll lose the lighter, or it'll be out. And what else do we have? Okay, we got 2 more products in here. And again, one of these days, I'm going to go through this whole thing and show you how all of it works. We have Wet Fire. These are $5 for a 5-pack. You can cut these into halves or quarters, and it has nifty little pictures on the back. You can light it with a lighter, spark lighter, number of other things. I've seen people put these in a bowl of water while they're on fire, and they won't go out. Hence, wet fire. These are a little expensive, though. You know, $1 for a fire. Well, $1 for 3 fires. But so I went and found Weber lighter cubes. When you look at them, and I actually haven't opened this box yet, they're basically 2 times the size of the wet fire. They seem to work the same in all of the videos you can see on the internet. So you get 24 of these for $4, whereas these are 5 for $5. These will expire after you open them. So these, but these, I'll open them now. Show you. These are individually wrapped with foil on the top. So you open just one, and that one will expire after a couple of months. Same with the wet fire, if you don't use it. But with this, 24 for $4, 5 for $5. And they do basically the same job. But everybody knows I am a cheap bastard, so we are going to go back to making 12 for a few pennies. If we can get them off the paper plate. Maybe I should have used wax paper instead of a paper plate. God, can't you tell my level of preparedness here? I so plan these things out. Hey, I'm drinking beer. Why don't I do something with fire? Yeah, that'll work. Okay, now they're not stuck to the paper plate. We're going to dunk them a second time, and that should just about finish these off. I don't have a good hold on that one. Move over to the corner. In case you're wondering how to know when they're ready to set down, when they're wet, they're kind of shiny. When the wax starts to cool, it kind of turns foggy, opaque, not quite as shiny. And it really doesn't take that long or that much. You can see the drip hanging off the bottom of that. That was still clear when I blew on it, and now it's almost completely opaque. Yes, I know. I'm so exciting. And believe it or not, this is what I do for fun. Now you know why I haven't had a date in a couple of years. Ah! Shoot! The reason you don't want to leave it in there quite so long is because it'll melt the previous layer of wax. And then we'll have to do that one again. Hopefully we won't, but it is a possibility. It's one of the reasons we use these warmer-uppers. I turned those on about hour, 2 hours ago. The petroleum jelly was ready in about 20 minutes. Wax takes a lot longer. Those things really don't put out all that much heat. So, preparation, and wait long enough to have a beer or two, or, well, actually, no, just two. 16 ounces of homemade. Have I mentioned how good my beer is? Maybe I will later. And I know I've said this in a previous video. Yes, I am this weird. Yes, I am this silly. Yes, I am this sarcastic in person. I'm also this boring, this lonely, and this ugly. Why do you think I live in a basement? Well, it was the biggest room in the house, and I paid for the house, so I wanted the biggest room. So there's reasons. That from another angle. Let's go on that corner there. And you can see the drop. That's still pretty hot. So, peel off the wax. Crack the back. And turn that off. Now the wax we don't actually use all that much of. In fact, I'll take the tops off here. To do this, I have to move the laptop, so it's going to get a little jiggly. Petroleum jelly and the wax. So you can see how much of each. Now the petroleum jelly was 3/4 of the way up the lip. Now it's about the halfway point, and I can just barely see the screen. The wax was about half, and it's still right about half. So, petroleum jelly you will use quite a bit of. I'm going to try and find a cheaper place to buy it, or at least in larger quantities, so it'll be cheaper overall. Wax on the edge. Wax on, wax off. Oh God, I can't believe I just made that joke. Please forgive me. It's the beer, I swear. And while we wait for those to cool, oh, there's one more item in my firebox, or my fire can. This is a pencil sharpener. Yes, I realize that was a dramatic reveal. You take twigs and small sticks, put them in here, twist to get tinder. I found this somewhere. That's why it's got black crap all over that. I just hadn't gotten around to cleaning it up, and I still haven't cleaned it up. So, where is my wire brush? Wire. Aha. There. Eyeshadow, eyeliner, whatever it was, is now gone. But it's still this cute little pink color. And somebody as burly and hairy and studly manly as I am, I've got a pink pencil sharpener for lighting fires. Honest. Let's see. Zippo fire starter. Zippo. Flint steel. That piece of junk. Now, the cord that came with this was about half this length. And it really didn't give me enough room. So I used a piece of 550 cord and doubled its length. I can actually wear this around my neck and always have it with me, if I so chose. I'm not that fashion conscious, so I don't. Spark lighter, regular lighter, magnesium ribbon. I found this on eBay, and I don't remember how much it was because it was a couple of years ago. Knife. I have several knives laying around. Eventually, one of these days, I'll do a video on those two. Okay, so I need these. Put in here. Now, I'm actually going to step out of the way of the camera here. And bring over this. This is literally something I put together today. These are glow-in-the-dark skull beads that I got off of eBay on a piece of 550 cord. These are pace beads or ranger beads. And the way it works is every certain number of paces, it varies depending on a person's pace. With me, it's 68 paces, I believe it is, to 100 yards. Then you pull down a bead. Or is it 69? I think it's 69. When you get to the last one, I should have only put 9. There's 10 there. On the 9th, you pull down one of these. And this is supposed to do half a kilometer. 5,000 meters. I also have another ferro rod. I've got a couple of glow sticks on here. These actually glow for 12 hours. These were in the Halloween section at Walmart. And it was 10 for $1 on discount. I only have a couple of these left. I picked up one of those whistle ferroconium buckles and I haven't actually been able to get this to spark worth a damn, so mainly it's there for whistle. I have thermometer and compass. I also have this from Coleman, has a small screwdriver. It has magnifying glass, compass, which only works when this tool is out. There's a cutting edge, pry, screwdriver, couple of different other bits in here. It's really nifty. I don't remember who gave it to me, or else I'd give them credit. And all of that is up on here. My dad sent me a couple of these. I put strike anywhere matches in there, and they're upside down. Strike anywhere matches in there. I also have these, which have the paper towel and wax and stuff on them, so they burn really good. These are just plain strike anywhere matches in a waterproof container. And a small pill bottle. You can actually put 2 cotton balls in here. If we were to dunk them in petroleum jelly and then had a pair of tweezers or something to pull them out while we're at a campsite, that would work just fine, because that's also a waterproof container. So paste beads, fire starting, light, tools, more tools, even more tools, and literally the Ranger beads took me longer than putting the rest of this together, because literally this stuff was laying out on my workbench here, my reloading bench. So, ideas. So, here we have our fire starters. They should have a little bit of resistance to them, but we break and peel, then hit it with a spark lighter. It's that easy. Great, I've got petroleum jelly all over my fingers now. Paper towels are behind the computer. I'm not very prepared, but I am very prepared. What you cannot see below the counter is, well, each one of these boxes is 500 rounds. And there's a lot of these down there. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12 of various calibers. And one of these days, I'm going to introduce you. Like I said, I'm very prepared for this video today. To my shotgun reloading apparatus. This is a Lee Loadall 2 in 12 gauge. And the tin for holding the shells so I can put them in the little cardboard boxes that I bought. But we will do that another time. Again, do not drink and drive. You might hit a bump and spill your drink. It's also illegal for some reason. They should make it a rule not to drink and make YouTube videos either. Anyway, good day. Where's the stop button? Stop button. Ah, there's the stop button.